What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Sensei Glove, the bald-head black anime nerd, back with my review of One Piece manga chapter 937, Yokimaru of Bandit Bridge. And this chapter was fucking fire, bro. Just off the strength of my nigga Zoro going crazy. One time for the one time, bro. I'm so happy Goda did not off-screen this shit. Like, so fucking happy. Like, Zoro's the GOAT, G. He takes no fucking L's, ever be. And on top of that, I told y'all last time, Monster Trio training arc, bro. We getting it cracking. It's live and in effect. So we can kind of just get straight to it. So the chapter does start out cutting back to Big Mom. So we see that they still are on their way to Udon, but we getting more hints. Oda's giving us more hints that there's probably gonna be like one of those food tantrums, hunger pangs, as they call it, once they get to Udon. But what's funny about that is once we cut to Udon, we find out that Queen loves the food that Big Mom is craving right now. And, you know, he cocky as shit. Like, nah, nobody getting this food. Like, this is only for me. Just on how that's set up. You know, Oda likes to do this, like, divergent thing where he'll set up something so we're like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a conflict, and then it becomes something completely different down the line. I really hope he doesn't do that here, because I really want to see a panel where fucking Big Mom's like having a hunger pain trying to get to that motherfucking food, and Queen's like does the Enel face, like, oh shit, I don't want no smoke, because I know Queen don't want no smoke with Big Mom. Or maybe he does, you never fucking know. But shit gonna be lit. But while we're there in Udon, so again, Monster Trio training arc, Luffy's trying to figure out how to upgrade his Armament Haki to the same way that Rayleigh demonstrated to him when they first started to train. Which is kind of interesting to me, because I didn't even think that was a thing. I thought that was Oda not really having a full grasp of what he wanted Armament Haki to be. So he didn't really show it the way that he showed it after they got back to Sabaody. Like, because they just kind of showed it, yeah, it's invisible armor that you can have. But I guess, you know, now he's trying to kind of put it in that, no, that was actually an upgraded version of Armament Haki, versus it just being, you know, a test run of what he wants Armament Haki to be. Because that was always something that I questioned, like, why did Rayleigh's arms not go black? You know what I mean? When he did that, or maybe it was just like, maybe his hand just went black and he was just strong enough to kind of push him away. But apparently no, it's like a little like force palm blast of some shit, of Armament Haki, or just Haki period. So Luffy's trying to achieve that level. I don't know if him achieving that level is gonna, you know, push him over the edge on some Katakuri shit, but I definitely think that's interesting, and I'm all for the training. This, you know, when you come to think about it, everything since they've gotten here has been like training. He's trying to get to the next level. I don't think that level is 1v1ing Kaido, but I definitely, you know, fuck with the, like, if they're gonna put him at the level of a commander based off this training, I'll accept that, because he is training. But besides that, let's get to the real shit, the meat and potatoes, the nitty gritty. Fucking Zoro at the bridge fighting who we now know is Yukimaru. Yukimaru is the Benkai, I believe is what the name was that I couldn't figure out last time. He's the collector of swords, so they're having a conversation back and forth about Shusui and Ryuma, saying, how the fuck did you meet Ryuma? Zoro's trying to explain it to him, but then he's like, I don't really need to explain shit to you, because I just want my sword back, nigga. I don't feel good without 3 swords. I'm on your ass, just give me these swords. So Yukimaru's like, nah, man, you're not getting these swords. He's telling the story of Ryuma, how he died so many years ago. I am interested here because Yukimaru also mentions that the Shusui is a black blade, the same way Mihawk's sword is a black blade. But we, up until this point, thought that blades are black because they're clad in Haki. So assuming Mihawk's sword is just always clad in Haki type thing. But apparently not. Apparently your blades can grow to be black over years of, you know, battles and training and what have you. And I immediately, because Zoro was obviously interested in this as well, like, bro, what the fuck? So I immediately was like, oh shit, they're gonna make Zoro, Zoro's gonna train his swords to become all black. But then I'm thinking, like, it's probably gonna be like something similar to like Dragon Ball Z, like after Gohan and Goku came out of the hyperbolic time chamber, they essentially stayed Super Saiyan for like those 7 days or however many fucking days they were waiting before going to fight Cell, just doing their everyday life so that they were trained to regulate their power levels and blah 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 blah, like all of that shit. So it could be the same. So he would just always travel with Haki on his swords type thing, or always train with Haki on his swords until it becomes a point where it's permanent. That's kind of my theory on how that's going to go. But I'm definitely interested in how Oda plans to move that along. I'm also interested in how Zoro is related to Ryumen, or if Oda's going to take that route at all. I know a lot of my friends were theorizing that, after the events of the rest of the chapter, Gyokimaru would take him to the grave side, and we discover that he's related to a lot of people. I don't necessarily think, it could happen, but I don't necessarily think it will, simply because that would kind of be retconning the entire situation with Ryuma back at Thriller Bark, because their exchange wasn't you remind me a lot of myself, or I see myself in you, or you might be a descendant of me. Like, I didn't really get a lot of those vibes there. It was kind of more so, you beat me, so I'll pass my sword on to you type of situation. So if they're trying to if he's trying to retcon that, like on some, no, actually they're related, I'm gonna be like, alright, Oda. I'm gonna fuck with it because it's Goda and Goda's the GOAT, but you ain't gotta do it that way. But back to the shit. So in the midst of him explaining this Black Blade stuff, we get two women screaming for help. Turns out those two women are it's pretty much obvious who they are. One is Otoko and the other one is Hiyori, or Komurasaki, basically. She's covered up. She doesn't have on the little geisha, whatever, clothes that she had. She changed her hair a little bit. She's also bleeding. But she's protecting Otoko, who we recognize as Otoko because she's smiling and shit. So that was interesting. So now, in my mind, that's a confirmation that she's still alive. So most people knew that she didn't die when she got cut in half. So it was 9 times out of 10, it was probably some type of fake out, something they had planned. She did smile before, he cut her. So yeah, we saw this coming. What I thought was going to happen before I continued reading was that the person chasing them was actually going to be Kyoshiro, but I was wrong. It is because Kazuma the killer, who reminds me a lot of, and a lot of my friends were saying this as well, reminds me a lot of Shishio from Rurouni Kenshin, with all like the bandages and shit. I don't think he has any like fire powers or nothing like that, but it was a nice little nod. So I see you there, Oda. But yeah, so he's being chased. They're being chased by him. Zoro's like, all right, cool. He walks up. He stops the blade from piercing Hiyori. And now it's like, okay, can you save us? He's like, well, I don't want Zoro, funny as hell. Well, I don't want to watch women die in front of me, but if you try to offer me some food and water and all of that shit, I'm with it. Food and sake, funny as hell. Talking about I'm with it. So they get to going back and forth. Meanwhile, the whole time, fucking Gyokimaru fucking still trying to give cheap shots, like in the middle of the fighting shit, Zoro dodging and shit like that. And then we get to the part, Zoro gets serious. We get to the part where his back is against the bridge. Gyokimaru tries to stab, ends up opening Zoro up to get stabbed in his shoulder. Zoro, like the boss he is, takes the fucking shit out his shoulder, puts it in his mouth, three sword style onigiri, one shots the man. I was like screaming. I'm like, oh shit! Oh, that nigga, bro. Oh my god, it was so fucking lit. The chapter ended there. Yo, that shit was insane. I was so happy he showed us that. I did have some concerns with how the fight is going, but I damn near don't care at this point. If he's not one shot, I'm curious to see how the rest of the fight is going to go, or if he's just going to turn and fight Gyokimaru. Like I said, a lot of my friends are feeling as though, you know, Gyokimaru is going to see his admiration and see how well he is with 3-sword style and kind of, you know, move forward with, you know, I accept you now. But I don't know. I feel like he was really adamant about fighting him. I think the fight is gonna end with more so of Gyokimaru submitting to Zoro because he don't want that smoke. I mean, like, niggas don't want that smoke. He gonna get that sword back and then probably say, well, look, I'll take you over here so you can see that what I'm telling you is the truth. But Zoro really don't give a fuck. So I'm actually interested to see how that shit is gonna play out. Like I said, man, this chapter is fucking phenomenal. Some little hints of little shit. We found out that old man Hyo does at least recognize. We don't know if he knows for sure, but at least recognizes who Rayleigh is, which isn't surprising. Rayleigh is like one of the most infamous motherfuckers in the world. He was like the first mate to the king of the pirates, so I would assume he knows him, but I don't know if Oda's trying to lead us to Roger was here in Wano at some point and blah 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 blah. They had some connections, this, that, and the third. So I don't know, but like I said, man, phenomenal fucking chapter. Like I said, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. It was fucking fire. I'm actually about to go to C2E2. It's our Chicago Comic-Con event downtown, so shit should be lit, man. I'm excited. It's a Mortal Kombat panel at 12:45, something like that. So I'm actually about to get up out of here and try to catch that shit. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of the chapter. What do you think is going to happen with Susui? Do you think Zoro is going to be connected to Ryuma in any way? What's up with Sanji? How is his training arc going, if he's training at all? Let me know, guys. Sensei the Glove.